You know when you get an idea and you feel really good about it, and you skip on over to your art supplies and you grab your gouache with a spring in your step because you can see your idea so clearly and you cannot wait to get it onto the page. Out blobs the paint and the colours look up at you expectantly because they too know that they are destined for something pretty dang beautiful. And you start confidently. You lay that paint down without a care in the world and it feels lovely. And slowly, okay, what happened exactly? Why is this looking not at all like what I saw in my optimistic noggin? Is this what I intended? No, it is not. And you push on a bit because all art projects have an ugly stage and sometimes you just need to power through it. Keep the faith. But sometimes you just know. Sometimes just as clearly as you once saw your original idea, you just as clearly feel it in your arty soul that this one right now is not going to complete the journey. And you know what? That's okay. That's totally okay. Not every artwork attempt will feel good. Not every attempt needs to be worked through to find its resolution. Sometimes it's fine to just stop. Cut it short, soak up the lesson you learned and try it again fresh. That's what happened with this attempt. Do you want to see how the second one came out? Hey there creative friends, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. If you are new here, thanks for stopping by and joining us in this cosy bubble. My name is Gemma and it's a joy to have you here. So here we are with my second attempt at painting a lion. For reasons I no longer understand, in that first attempt I had thought I would paint animal faces onto the rectangles. And then I kind of got the sizing wrong and I very much lost my way with it. The rectangles were not my friend and they kind of befuddled me. So instead I'm using the whole page as my rectangle and I'm just going to practice painting a lion face, but with my original intention of using super bright colours and generally just enjoying myself. I'm using Artful gouaches and very much focusing on my faves, the yellows. There's something very pleasing about using a chunkier brush at the start, when you can just blob leafy shapes onto the paper without too much precision. And I know this will sound silly, but I am just so enjoying the yellowiness of that yellow. Look at it! Glorious! By this time, my lion had quite the bouffant hairdo going on. So I spent some time balancing it out with a probably slightly overboard but just as equally luscious mane. I thought it was about time to bring in some other tones, so here we go, plonking on some orange around the nose, some browns around the eyes, and then moving back into the mane again. And then, deep breath. It was time for a very vibrant pink. Ooh, it's always a bit of a moment when you use bold colour on top of something you feel has been going okay so far, but could very much go squiffoo at any point. But I really loved it, so I just kept going and hoped for the best. By the way, if you're still here watching, do consider hitting the like button if you can, as it really does help me out. Thank you for doing that. After a while, I had managed to dot about quite a few pinky bits throughout the mane, so I figured it was time to experiment with a bit more contrast in the features. I loved using a small brush to add in thin furry lines on the chin. it felt like just that small step started to pull the previous elements together. Of course, the eyes needed more attention too, as they had lost their definition as the mane had started growing around them. So by this point, I had gone a bit rogue and had started adding in swirly lines, and at the time I had mixed feelings about them. Part of me liked them, part of me thought I had gone too far, but I think my motivating factor was that I wanted to get some movement in there somehow. So I figured these were worth a try. And then I reasoned that if I was going to do them, I might as well fully commit and make them super bold. As if the mane was rippling in the wind, all flowy and ooh. At this point, I decided I had done enough with the paint and switched to a graphic black pen. I used it to deepen the eyes and to add in some random detailing all over. And then I grabbed a white thin Posca pen to add some final highlights and patterns. There was no real method to it. I was just essentially doodling on top of the painting in whatever way I fancied. And that's it. That's my lion. It is kind of all over the place, and it's kind of wonderful too. I really love the colours, and I think the patterns I added with the pen at the end gave it an extra something something. What do you think? If you made it to the end, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've had a piece of art go a bit squiffy recently. Keep making happy, and I'll see you next time.